Last night, my house was nearly a battlefield. People almost lost their lives. I could have lost my lives or got hurt. My loved ones could have lost their lives. And it wasn't fun at all. Last night was a real life situation of home defense. I haven't done videos in a while, but this situation warranted a video. I hope you guys sit back and relax and enjoy this one and learn from the mistakes I made and also learn from what I did right. So if you're ever in this situation, you know how to respond. So last night, after coming home from a long day, I was downstairs relaxing. It was about 11:45 at night, watching one of my favorite TV shows ever with a loved one. And that show was called Elf. A lot of you probably remember it. It was a great show, and it's one you don't have to think about. You can just sit back and unwind from the day. So about 11:45, I hear this big knock on the door. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm like, what in the world? Why is someone knocking at my house this late in the night? If it was a friend, they would have called me first and let me know. If it was family, they would have had a key. And about this time, I'm hearing my dog just snarling and barking, acting like he's going to break down that door. So immediately I know something's not right, but it could have been just, someone got hurt in an accident. So I'm coming up the stairs, and I go to look out my door, and of course my porch light is broken. I can't see anything outside. I can't see out the peephole, and I don't want to unlock the door. I've always had this rule, never unlock the door unless you can see who it is, and you can identify what they want to do and what business they have with you. So I just talk through the door. I'm like, who is it? What do you need? And this person says, my name is such and such. I was driving down the road, and I just hit a dog. And I know you have dogs, and I just want to make sure it's not yours. Well, inside, my dog was barking at the door, trying to break it down. I do babysit 2 other dogs in my backyard for a best friend of mine who does mobile jobs all around the country. So I peek out at them, they're fine, and I say, it's none of mine, good night. And he still wanted me to open the door. And so I told him to leave. And he said, yeah, fine, I'm going to go check on someone else. So I was like, okay. But something didn't sit right with me. So I walked downstairs to grab another firearm because I had left my everyday carry firearm in my truck console because I just didn't want to take it out last night because I was tired. And downstairs, all my other firearms were locked up except for one that I just brought back from a trip. And that was my AK-47 variant Arsenal, 7.62 by 39. And I grabbed that firearm. I had a loaded magazine. In fact, it was this magazine right here. I put it into the gun and walked up the stairs. At the top of my stairs, it's about 20 feet from the front door. And when I stepped on that last step, I could hear the dog start growling again. And there was a deep growl, just like that. Just something that would just, make the hair stand up on the back of your neck kind of growl. And this dog is kind of a chicken at all times and never acts like that. So I knew something was wrong and I knew they hadn't left. So what I did is I ended up grabbing my firearm, since it was the only one I had, and I didn't have anything in the chamber at the time. So I went like this, and I racked around into the chamber. This AK right here is what made that noise. And about that time, I heard that guy say, okay, I'm sorry, we're going to leave. When I talked him through the door, he made it sound like there was one of him. Number 2, I didn't know why he knew I had dogs, so that means he was probably watching me. And so I hear him take off, and my screen door is broken and left open. I didn't open the door. I grabbed my phone when I also grabbed my firearm downstairs, and I called 911. And I told them that someone was trying to break in my house, and, I knew it wasn't legitimate, and something might have happened. And so, of course, 20 minutes later, 3 cop cars show up, even though I'm in the middle of town where I'm living right now. And they check the property, we look around, everything seems fine. But this could have been a very dangerous situation. Now, I've never wanted to take a life. I've never wanted to have that feeling in my life. But I do know that if anyone was to harm me or my family, I don't play games. That's the end of it, and I would end the situation. So these people, by nearly trying to break into my house, nearly lost their lives. And who knows, they could have had firearms as well. And I did end up reading in the paper that there was a series of robberies up and down the streets just here the last couple of days. There was also a robbery at a few stores, so I'm wondering if it was the same people. So this is what I did next. After that, I sat down on the couch. I really reflected on what would happen if they had come through the door. And I really thought about what I could have done better. And so, of course, I need to go get my porch light fixed. I talked to my loved ones. We're going to keep the door and stuff in a different configuration to make sure it's locked. We did have an alarm system, but I was complacent. I didn't have the alarm system on at the time. I usually have my everyday firearm with me, and I left that in the vehicle. So there's another reason I was complacent. So all these things could have led to me getting in a very bad situation. I don't want to see you guys make the same mistakes I did, and I hope you really learn from what I went through. And for me, it's always been different when I've gotten in a stressful situation. I feel how my body is. I know how it reacts. One thing about me that I've learned about myself is that when I get in real stressful situations, I get really focused. I concentrate on what's happening, and nothing around me matters but that situation. I also know I get really calm, and even shooting under stress, I don't really miss or do anything bad like that. But I also do know 20 minutes after these situations, I sit down and I'm terrified and I get shaky. Like, I can't believe I was in that situation. So I hope you guys learn what happens to your bodies in these situations, because everyone reacts differently. You're not going to be the same as me. I'm not going to be the same as you. So learn from my situation, guys. Go through your home security setups. Look at your situations, what firearms you have ready, what implements of home defense, what ways do you have to call 911. Do you have access to their clothing, your shoes when you need them? Because you never know what's going to happen. And I hope you guys really take all the stuff I'm talking about into consideration. If you have anything to say, do a video response, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll talk to you guys later.